And good morning. It is Thursday, November. See what we're doing? September the 1st, 2022. My name is Jake Lynn Payne, and this is still things you might have heard. Unfortunately, these are things you might have heard that aren't very well prepared. We are going well off script today, as technical glitches with getting the stats out of the Twitterverse. What usually takes about 3 minutes took about 35 minutes. And so there wasn't enough time to actually pull the stats, put them in the spreadsheet, do all the little mumble jumbo hocus focus, put the slides up and goes with that. So we don't have a lot of great things going on. We did pre-do some stuff, so we do actually have our birthdays and our fact in a second, but we don't really have the things in order of the best things. So we're literally doing this live. You won't see this, and hopefully I can actually see what I'm doing. But I started working on the content for half of it, so I have some headlines, but I don't have the links. I don't have what's going on. So some of the stories that I will briefly hit on because they're not prepared at all, including some things that happened, some recent things happened in the last couple hours that may be interesting to you. So if you like this, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. We're going to do much less of it because this is not how this should go. This will be very quick, I promise you. Although since I can't see any of my screens properly, it's all over the place. So one thing that may be something, and you're not going to see any graphics on this either because they're not made there, so I can't do that on the fly. But Paramount Plus is bundling Showtime together for a $7.99 bundle that allowed you to get the Showtime shows, Showtime movies and shows there, along with the Paramount Plus stuff. This is actually a bit of a cheaper bundle than expected from what you expect from already going for you. So you get more stuff for less, and this is of course because bundles are everything and streaming is everything, and making things work is everything. Any buck that a company can get is better than nothing. So instead of adding on to the price of something, what you're getting here is two separate services. Paramount Plus, which is a pretty good service, but an extra cost. Up until now, not attached to anything of note. They're attaching Showtime to it to put more of a motion for you to go into it because you get a bit more than what's there. Now, this is something that we've actually just posted again because we got confused on what's posting. There's not a lot of things going forward this morning, so it's not a great morning all the way. But the Congressional Commission finds that a KKK plaque is mounted at the West Point Science Center entrance, and it's been there since about the 80s, I believe. So that's a long, long time to have a plaque there. Now, the original meaning behind the artist who did this stuff was to show some of the good times and the bad times, the struggles and the triumphs of the United States and its people and its foundation and its things. Of course, that means there's a monument to the Ku Klux Klan at West Point as you go into the science building, and it's been there for like 40 years or so. Not a really good look, unfortunately. What we're seeing now is trying to figure out what to do about it. There is a group attached to the military that's trying to rename bases that were named after Confederate soldiers back when they started to make new modern bases. And they're working on that. But since this is not a modern base, they don't have jurisdiction on this. They don't know what exactly to do about it right now, oddly enough. It's there. We know it's there. We can talk about it. But what to do about it, we're not quite sure at the moment. So Dolly Parton is launching a new company. She's like the entrepreneurial wizard of things. She's taken, I'll say, just a simple concept of her as a simple country singer and turned it into so many things, just being totally awesome and just a nice person, and turned it into a bunch of different things. Dolly Parton is now going to launch Doggy Parton apparel for dogs. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. Get ready, because I know all we talked about pet parents are going to get into the Dolly Parton stuff as soon as it comes about. Nicole Kidman has an amazing new ad coming up because her amazing AMC ad that you see basically as you step into the movies these days, it's going to get a sequel. It's going to get an update. It's going to get the new version. Another Nicole Kidman sitting in a movie theater eating popcorn, telling you that great movies are great movies. This is probably just more due to the fact that you update your previews as things go on. You update your things, your things you do for promos. But because it was such a grand response from the original commercial, She's getting a second commercial, much like the first one. We'll see how that works. There's Omicron specific vaccine boosters on the way. The FDA says it's all good, it's all cool. We have boosters for the Omicron, this current, although I'm sure there's been a variant or two from there, but the current variant that's basically plaguing us with the coronavirus. Very highly contagious, not quite as deadly in most cases, but you still don't want to get that. Meanwhile, in other news for COVID-19, the life expectancy has dropped again due to COVID-19. I don't have the stat in front of me with just the raw title here, but I think it's down about another year and a half from where it's been the year prior, where it's been the year prior. COVID-19 is essentially with the influx of deaths has lowered our life expectancy here in the States. The ironic part is overseas, life expectancy is starting to tick back up. COVID-19 is not affecting it so much that it's starting to tick back up slowly, not by leaps and bounds, but slowly going up. US still on the downward swing. And let's wrap it up with two more quick things. We have Bed Bath & Beyond gets rescue loan. But in order to get that rescue loan for the company, they're going to close about 150 stores. That means the store you know and love for having a coupon for everything is about to probably shut down near you. I know our local one, literally right down the street from us, they were doing some renovations, doing some cleanup, and that was something in the works. It's a fairly popular store as far as I can tell, but about 150 stores across the nation aren't going to be chopped off the list because Bed Bath & Beyond needs to make some money, and this loan will help them stay afloat for a little bit longer. The A&E network is suing the Reels network for the production of the show Live PD, because essentially they're saying it rips off the original show it was about, which it kind of does, and just kind of takes that IP and moves it over. Now, the show owned by the same person, now running a different network, is where things get sketchy. The issue is, does Dan Abrams have the right to actually pull the show from the other network, or at least not release it on the network that had first dibs and put it someplace else based on whatever? Live PD, of course, was shut down because the rash of crazy arrests going on, and the Live PD crew, or one of the crews, was actually sued in an arrest that turned into a bigger deal, not just for your entertainment, but actual, people having to testify on how the arrest went. What's really sad about this is I got a good buddy, good friend of mine, James B. McDaniel, who's working on the show, working with the social media for the show on Reels, and very excited about what he's doing. I'm really sad that this is happening to him at this point in time. And one last thing, just throw it out there, because, we can't just give up on things. The Comedy Store, the famous venue in California, was looking for $8.5 million in COVID funds after missing a deadline. They should have gotten a COVID relief loan. And because the accountant literally just missed the deadline, trust me, I've done that too many times. Now they're $8.5 million short and looking for relief to get things going because they were out of stuff. Probably not as entertaining as I thought it was going to be, but it popped in my attention. That's why you don't do those things right there. Oh, one thing that might be interesting, go through our links, or go look for yourself. And if you're too young to remember this, Tim Hardaway, legend for basketball, playing a lot of teams. This noted that the Miami Heat also played over as well. Had a very famous saying 15 years ago, had a very famous interview 15 years ago where he had said the line, "I hate gay people." And it was a thing 15 years ago. Tim Hardaway is now apologizing for that statement. Check out what's going on there as well. Oh, they might try to launch Artemis this weekend, although weather's probably not going to work out with that. So let's go back to, as we produce live on air, let's go back to the actual slideshow here. And I do have stuff in there that you can check out when I don't do that, of course. Let's go to... Okay, so our sponsor today is the Chess Store, and go to thisistheconversationproject.com/the Chess Store. And it's important to bring this up because it's really something cool is coming up in a second. But if you are into chess or are looking to get into chess, you can get into chess with some of the most beautiful sets out there by going to the chess store and seeing wooden sets, metal sets, and travel sets that aren't just cheap plastic, but look good and perform well as well. Check it out at thisisaconversationproject.com/the chess store. The chess store. Say this properly, the chess store. Our website's note very quickly. This is theconversationproject.com, our main website. Facebook and Twitter, where our feeds are, so you can vote up stories. And if I had time to actually do the stories, you'd have voted up stories today. TikTok is where we do the TikTok videos, very importantly. YouTube and the podcast version, the audio and the visual of this thing. You can check it out in live on YouTube, or you can check it out on replays and videos, or get the podcast. Probably won't do it today because today was just such a flux of bad stuff. The audio version of these things going backwards. Now, today things, the biggest thing about today things, you want to make sure that you celebrate your September the right way, get things started off awesomely. Starting off with happy birthday wishes to Lily Tomlin, who's 83 years old on the day. Also, Barry Gibb, who's 76 years old on the day. And we got to go for the youngins to get some in the demo in there. So let's send a shout out to Zendaya, 26 years old on the day. Today is Eat Outside Day. Eat Outside Day. So we want you to eat outside. Actually, I might not have changed that, but Eat Outside Day is there. Let's go through this one because we're here. One last fact. Someone looked at Facebook's most viewed posts for April, May, and June, and, well, they were recycled junk. But it's Facebook, so we're not surprised. Reading's not working as well today. The top post was a joke ripped from a Family Feud episode that was originally on Instagram Reels, but did 52 million views when it was put on Facebook. Others, the top 20, are spammy memes, free booted content, reposting someone else's post, and ripped intellectual property. 2 of the top 20 posts could not be listed in the report because they were removed for violating policies about intellectual property theft. So what you know about Facebook, except for, of course, our videos, is they're all recycled stuff. Well, our videos are recycled news, so there you go. So the bulk of the stuff we're seeing on Facebook, one of the reasons why people are jettisoning the actual platform is it's just nothing original these days, which you could say is what social media is in general, but it is what it is. So we suffer through. We are done. This has been Things You Might Have Heard for Thursday, September the 1st, 2022, the very, very poorly done edition of it. Stop by tomorrow where we hope to actually have stats to pull for you that we can do things that make more sense, and I can do some research to make sure things are in line. Watch this again. If you really, really, really want pain and suffering, it's there for you. Make sure you do stay hydrated. Stay limber, stay on task. We still got that in there because we need you to do the things you need to do. And sometimes when you force things, you force things. You learn, you grow, you learn you probably shouldn't have done it in the first place. So we got this in here. So for the streak still goes. For the content, we probably should have just went ahead and we got breakfast this morning, to be honest. Thank you so much for anybody who popped into this thing live or in the future and suffer with it. Send us any comments, any complaints, anything you want to. We'll work on it. In the meantime, we're going to hope that Twitter cooperates tomorrow. We'll see if maybe it's Elon Musk poking the bear a little bit and gives us our stats on time so we can give you their Friday edition of things you might not have heard that actually are things that are worth hearing.